I think he was back like that. He was back. Yeah.
You got to do the rewind.
Yeah, he's back.
Yes, sir. Barber College Success. Brought to you by Crown Cutz Academy of JC, Crown Cutz Academy of Bristol, and Crown Cutz downtown JC. And my co-host himself, my Barber. Yes, sir. We got a banging topic today, banging episode. We got Barber College Success. This week, any cues, any topic, any way to help the new barber come in. We're going to hit you up. Drop some jewels up in front of the crowd. We're in 75 countries around the world. China, Australia. Madagascar. Top 25 podcasts in mom content in the world. Top 25 podcasts in mom content in the USA. In every county of Tennessee. All over the world. Spread the love. Spread the love to JC. But the only way we know how to do it is the Crown Cutz. We know how to bang this topic today. How do you go to the topic? Before you do that, hold on. Let's introduce our guest. The answer is God. Introduce yourself, Mr.
My name is Tommy, aka Tommy Got You for IG. What else? Man, people call me a legend, man. But,
Yeah.
I'm humble about it.
Oh, no doubt. Good friend of mine. We've come together for years. Shout out. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. He talked me into it, man.
Come on the spot.
I've been thinking about it.
Just lots of good team, just growing and keep building. But again, we got how show to the top of first.
The thing that interests me was what Craig talked about. He went back and cut, and he would cut in the studio by himself with some grand piano, spiral staircase, or whatever.
Just make it down.
Yeah, so I was just wondering what the other side was at like. And students sometimes feel like the only option they got is to go to the shop, and sometimes you can have to do your own little thing.
Right.
I always have to go out with some people and benefits of that too. So
Oh, good job. Hey, I tell you all the time, Emma, focus on topics. Do your thing. Let's people on the episode. Let's people on the show.
I'll take some weight off.
Yeah. Hey, man, we do this together. My co-host for a reason. I mean, this is fun doing this. Talking about what we love to do, making barber teams to the next level.
I was in the grocery store lunch. And I was shooting Craig.
Yeah, we going to the Gillette in February 20, go to the Gillette headquarters, do some amazing things with mental health. That's big. Yeah. And we got the new product coming out, and we can sample it. He said something about it. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be dope. It's going to be about that. And also, we're going to have a celebrity guest up there with us.
Oh, man.
It's going to be big.
It's going to be Chappelle. Oh, man. My heart.
It's going to be big. When they reach out, I'm like, man, I'm talking to you. So, the sky's the limit. So, hey, what's your topic? Talk about it. What's your topic about?
Talking about when you're working in the shop or working by yourself. You work in the shop right now? You like the environment in the shop? You like working by yourself?
Yeah, it's a good environment. Because I go by appointment only,
Yeah.
Being rude, somebody get me. Stop all them dumb questions.
That's what we're going to say now. That's good. I ain't gonna lie, it feels good. So, Craig, what about you? The studio, though. What would inspire you to go to the studio?
When I first started, I mean, honestly, the one thing before I even jump into that, when you work with other barbers, you don't learn so much. Because I remember working in the shop and watching Tommy stuff. I pick up tips. Even just cutting hair in the school, watching other students cut, I picked up so many tips. So there's an advantage of cutting hair around other people. It's fun. It makes it more just you go to work, it's not even work because you have a conversation going on there, and it just makes the day go a lot quicker and faster. But I as I'm in the industry right now, and if I was to go into the industry right now in school, knowing what I know now, I would be more so likely just to have a piece of space by myself. Because you're not accountable for nobody else. You're just accountable for yourself. And knowing what I know my drive, I know how I push myself, I know how I want to learn, I know when I want to take a break, I know when I want to hit the gas and just put in that power drive on the Volvo and just take home. Or just say,
sports setting.
a sports setting, just say hybrid. And I understand all those aspects because from a teacher's perspective, you see so many different angles. And I think for me now, I'm thinking just student. Yeah, and maybe a chef. Something different.
A chef?
Somebody cooking in the corner.
Man.
Preparing the meal.
It's a $700 haircut.
I mean, this industry is so limited. It's limited.
I'm just thinking about that too. Like just having my own little personal studio and just like having like at first it's off the bar and just set it out.
Yeah,
he got the piano.
And that's why I kind of got that from a little bit watching him, how he set up.
Yeah. And that's somebody that I've always watched and learned from him, Marcus Harvey, Yusuf Barber.
Marcus Harvey was at the show in Knoxville.
Yeah. Like all those barbers was the ones I used to always look at, like kind of like mold myself after. That's my cousin. Education, Richard Lowry, he was one of the coldest. I always looked up to him. This was got me into the barber. He was barber. He was a young kid. He was low. Yeah, he was cold. But I remember my mom told me he was working in the shop one day. All the shop owner got so jealous of how many clients he had. He fired him from the shop. So what he then went on to get his own little suite, like right around the corner from his grandmother's house. And he just had bigger and better plans when he moved to Atlanta.
And he did it by himself. Once he left, he was on himself about the suite.
No, not the suite. He worked in the shop. He was like one of the top barbers. He did lashes, braids, that.
The whole night.
Yeah.
That's one thing that unfortunately comes from working in the shop sometimes is you have people that you don't really job with or maybe there's some things or whatever. And unfortunately just working with people, you deal with emotions of people.
Right.
And working by yourself, you don't have to deal with those things. And sometimes some people in shop, even though they might be good barbers and have a relationship, some of their habits reflect poorly on you.
Right.
Exactly.
That can really be effective, like, especially on new barbers that don't know that. Just having one negative person in the shop can
Kill the whole vibe.
Yeah, especially if you're close with that person. It can kill your whole vibe. It can kill
Growth. Well, it stops growth.
Yeah, stop your growth completely. Like you can completely turn into the biggest a-hole in the shop.
I work with
listening to somebody.
Well, I worked with a guy one time, and my client would tell me this because we were just walking the time, and they come to me, some barbershop. I'm like, yeah, it's a good barber. He's like, yeah, he told me, forget about you. Come, let me touch your hair.
They probably make that up.
No, they didn't do it, man. So, I was like, man, that's crazy, And that breeds discontent and builds an environment in the shop. Sometimes clients can feel the energy.
Sometimes clients can bring that energy in there. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of clients. This is one thing I go by. Like once you leave my chair, you know somebody else. Like I'm more likely to hold you back because I know like when people leave my chair, they leave my chair because they disappointed with some kind of service. So when you leave my chair, it lets me know that I'm not the person for you.
Right.
So therefore, finding somebody that's good for you. I ain't got no hard feelings for you, but they have hard feelings thinking that I got hard feelings.
Yeah.
And then go to the other barber and say something about you.
Well, I think that's one thing that you should never do as a barber. Feel some type of way if a client goes to another barber.
Yeah.
I don't think you should ever feel some type of way because everybody has their preference and how they want to spend their money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if it's enough for them, there's going to be someone who's going to come in and replace it. From my experience, someone always comes in and replace it.
I kind of the different ways that, just because the nature of haircutting. Like most dudes don't want a haircut until they need a haircut. And I always tell them, you know, like you go to Walmart, you got a headache, and they ain't got no ibuprofen. You're like, man, I want to shop at Walmart. You're gonna go to Walgreens and get some ibuprofen, you know what I'm saying? Or something. You know, and it might not be, you might not get the discount you want there, or you know, or maybe it might not be the favorite person in the rest you like to talk to, but at the same time, you know, you just have to get some ibuprofen. And I try to, but I definitely see what you're saying. You know, I appreciate it when people tell me if I did something wrong, you want to know what you did. Yeah. But at the same time, there are those feelings that come up when somebody goes somewhere else. Like, and as a barber, you know, you have to have ultra confidence because and people don't realize that.
You can't feel that type of somebody just like this.
I mean, no, I mean, of course not. But you do have to ask yourself those questions. What did I do wrong? Yeah. And then you know, and some people just they just don't. They'll say, "Hey, I like it," in the mirror, and they'll go on and they'll talk about it.
Let me tell you this thing. Like when I say somebody going up to somebody else's chair, like if I'm not available, I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? But like if I'm available and like, you know, you decide to go somewhere else, okay, I ain't mad. Like don't make it all awkward. Just in case you do want to come back, you know, don't make it awkward. And because I'm gonna feel some type of way because I feel like, you know, you felt some type of way.
Yeah, I don't think that's why to me it's all about building a relationship with the client first. You know, when I build a relationship with you, walking or not after, as time goes on, you're never coming back to get you come back to the relationship.
Yeah, you know how you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Knowing that relationship where it's not gonna be awkward and to the point where, Craig, what's up? How you been? You come back, just sit and shoot the breeze with you about something. I mean, because after a while, everybody's haircut is gonna be the same. A fade is, I mean, different ways to do a fade. Different ways to get to the fade, but ultimately, all our fades gonna be the same. So what separates you? Your attitude.
And that's a good thing about working in the shop too. Like you really show what sticks out about you is going to come out.
Right.
And it comes out a lot quicker, I think, when you work around other people. People start to notice something different that you bring it up. I think that's important. And it's helped me in my career. Just not just being myself and just try to be a blessing to everybody that comes through. I feel like that was my number one goal. It was meant, like, of course I want to give you a good haircut. Mine was always, I want to bless you some way.
I mean, and plus, we have some of this, as I travel around the country and go to different places, we have some of the best barbers across the country. I do the best barbers, with black hair, white hair, it's across the board. And because I particularly, when I go across the country, across state line, I go to shops to look at the hair. I know this man was killing. This is better work than that. That's all it was better work than that. I always compare and make it kind of fun game.
Yeah.
I always go and visit, check out the price list.
Like different bar school, you can teach them. Try to teach them the bar side.
Just have a conversation. You know, people go like, man, what's your price? Are you charging that for real? And you do this type of work? Yes, I'll be trying to see what teach you.
Hey, that's crazy because like just looking on Instagram, like you see all these people claiming that they charge $100 and all this, like then you get to zooming in on their cuts, you like $100.
But I think some of that stuff is really kind of it's all the Photoshop. It's that too, but I think some of the barbers really about $800. Yeah. Some barbers do now, don't get me wrong, some barbers do get that. But some barbers say that, so they will drive interest to them. So people can inquire and see what that $100 is about.
I usually just look at, I'll go book it. Because usually when they charge $100, they got an appointment right now. You can go make an appointment right now. You can slide in there on the Monday. So. But anyway, but I think that one thing that helped me in the barbershop was being around, especially being new at it, was being around people that were better than me and helped me grow. And I think that's one thing that you do is that you went off by yourself.
Right.
Being in the shop kind of motivates you to, especially when I was in school, because you really don't really get good until you're in the shop out of school.
Well, you can't shortcut the process of getting good.
Yeah, it takes repetition.
It takes repetition, and your first year out of school, you're going to see it differently. Your second year out of school, you're going to see it differently. Your third year out of school, you're going to see it differently. And those processes can't be shortcut. You can't cut that process short and say you want to jump from 2 weeks to to 3 years back. That's impossible. And I know we said it again before, we can't compare our haircuts to the talent or yourself when you're out. So any barbers out there who's been out of school long enough, even if you've been out of school 6 months, a student shouldn't be trying to compare his work to yours. And why my haircut's not coming out like blah, blah, blah. These guys, they've been out of school, they've been at it longer than you. They've been probably grinding longer than you. The work they put in behind the scene that you don't see them doing, they work harder than you. So you have to match the intensity first to say that your work is not coming up today. But it's not fair for you to say, hey, man, I'm looking at his cuts. It's not just, you don't know how many videos he watched, how many people he talked to, how many shows he went to, continuation, how much time he put in. So it's difficult for you to do that. It's not fair.
I mean, I think it's motivating. And one of the other things that really helped me in the shop was my time. Like when I first started cutting hair, I would see, the dudes around me, 2 or 3 clients leave before I get my one done. So I'm like, I just started watching the club. Well, no, I just started thinking, I was like, I know this dude's tired sitting here. I know, I was done, so, I would look at the clock and I would try to not rush it, but try to give myself a timeline and try to, speed up the part, get through it quicker.
I mean, not to get off the topic, but the key for getting efficient is pace yourself and come up with a formula.
Get your rhythm.
Get your rhythm, get your desired results. And that's it. You know what I mean? But you don't have to compare something. He's not it. Pace yourself. Because your pace is different from everybody else's pace.
Right. Like I said, I started an apprenticeship and I didn't know anything outside the shop. All I was in the shop. So bad habits and things or some stuff that I picked up that I didn't get necessarily if I was in school.
Right. Well, a lot of my bad habits I kind of, when I got to school and started teaching, I started teaching all my bad habits. So the students won't make those habits. I tried to give it to them. So I was struggling this arena in the shop. I struggled that arena in the shop. And I want you to not do that when you get out there. So and I've learned so much when I've been in school just teaching. I know for a fact if I get out there and be a barber, I'll be totally different.
Yeah.
And that's where I would say that I would totally go into a suite.
What would you have in your shop? What you had to studio, what you had to have? Very high at the end of it.
I have game systems in there. Okay. And I deck it out, and it'll look like a house actually. Really, like it's like a little game room in barber shop.
Like a little man cave.
Yeah, something like that. Where it's like somebody bring their son or something. You got something to keep them occupied till it's time to get a haircut and stuff like that. But it ain't gonna be no place for people to just come chill because I want my clients to feel relaxed, and calm, what I'm saying, an environment where they can, whine, unwind,
Let it go.
get the haircut, get the service. They might end up wanting to get like some kind of extra stuff, because how comfortable it feels to be.
Yeah. And also for me, it's just having like a prop to take pictures. Almost like a museum, you cut in a museum. So you got different places. You might have a Christmas tree or something. You got food, cutting pictures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I said the grand piano. The spiral staircase. You might have the chef cooking with the chef hat, and he prepares a meal to take a picture while eating it. Something like that on the next level. Because barber right now is just not one dimension. It's so dimensional. You have to be a point guard to see the whole floor barber because there's so much you can do.
Yeah. That's what stuck out with me about Marcus Harvey was his shop. He didn't call it a shop, he called it a studio, the art gallery.
Right.
He has artwork everywhere. He buys artwork and puts it. And he doesn't call it a barber shop, he says the gallery. So, and that's when they really stuck out from Musa. That's it. Yeah.
So that's what separates, because in this industry where you could do so much and you could really realistically take your income to where you want it. Mm-hmm. But you have to put this time. You have to be thinking about aesthetic wise, how to make this work for you.
I like my dad was, he was
you got the whole strength. Yeah. Even like where I saw, what's his name, who's that guy, who does this?
Jay, maybe.
Yeah, Jay Bates, where he bought this whole building and just had little individual suites. I don't know. That's ingenious.
That's one thing that stuck out. So I think Micah does. You have your own cubicle area. We went to the one shop in Knoxville where they had their own little area, and it's like you walk into a part of the barber shop. Like that would be a good idea for future barbershops. Even if you work with people, you got your own zone. You know, you feel like you got your own spot.
Well, for one, too, why that is so important and why it works is because in an open barbershop, sometimes people just want to come in and have a personal conversation. And if the barber's too close to you, you are trying to have the conversation and make it private.
Yeah.
And it's difficult sometimes unless the music is in a certain decibel or you in the shop by yourself as an individual. Because if you out to get 3 or 4 barbers, depending on how close you guys are, it's kind of hard to get a personal feel and have like a personal conversation with your client. Because that's what some people go through.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, like when you got the music blasting, somebody that close to you, they gone there.
Yeah. You have your own language. Like, what's up, so
Even
good
if
thing.
they're not trying to hear the conversation, they gonna hear it.
And the worst part is when you with your client and another barber with his client, you have a conversation with your client, but the client right there, his barber not talking to him, he's been doing your conversation.
But sometimes
Don't talk to your client.
that can be beneficial sometimes though. Like if you want to, because if you talk to days all day, sometimes it's nice to get a rest and talk to somebody. So your client being involved in their conversation sometimes gives you a rest unless you focus on just cutting the hair.
Yeah, and that's when you get all that head movement.
Oh man.
And depending if it's like a juicy topic, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, this is just for me and my client.
But I mean, if it's personal, yeah. But I like that part of the barbershop. I like the openness.
No, some conversations are for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes you don't know when the conversation is for everybody.
Yeah, but you hear this. You're like, yo, word? That's what she said?
Hey, I'll be in trouble, man. Hey, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like that, so yeah, sometimes it's okay. But the majority of the time you just wanna so what I do at times sometimes I try to control the music and turn the music up to a certain decibel. Because if music at a certain decibel, you can have a conversation with the person right in front of the person next to you. If it's too loud, it can't be too loud, it can't be too low. Except that fine tune to get that right spot. You know what I mean? But that's that's one of the reasons I can think more so of just being in the studio by myself.
Because you control the music when it comes to what kind of music it is, or whatever's put out there.
Right.
Because there's been times I've been in the shop on put a show on, and these kids are going, good. He's like, yo, maybe I don't know.
Oh, man.
No, you can't do that.
I mean, yeah.
I used to be tractors on that.
Oh, really?
Live, yeah. And you can just feel it. You can feel it when most of the parents come in. You can feel it. You like, some people ignore you. You're like, no,
You put it on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I see both sides. Like I said, I've studied both sides, and I know for a fact that was benefit.
This is the feeling of the unknown because I ain't never. But I've been in the shop by myself, and for me, sometimes it makes a day feel longer.
It do.
It makes the day feel a lot longer when it's not, people coming in and out.
And being in the shop with a bunch of good barbers, that's fun. So you got some enlightening conversations, you can get some enlightening tips, you're gonna get some people, you know what I'm saying, working together, bonding, you know what I'm saying, just catching up, especially, somebody like me, I can talk all day about the Patriots. I can't wait to tell people about the Patriots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I look forward to talking about that.
hey,
You know what I'm saying?
So,
So you want people to hear me talk about this spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
you got people coming in. What's your favorite old Patriots? They look at me. What's your favorite team?
And I'm like, I don't know. And I also have another barber there, and I'm speaking, you know, from the perspective of being in the barbershop. Like, you can get clients that necessarily you wouldn't like job with coming in, but they keep you in too. Right. So and it helps you get a different perspective and stuff. Because sometimes, you know, they might have conversations about things, you know, that might not have been your thought process, but also opens your mind to what's going on. Of course. And I grew up I started in a little conservative place, and you know, the population was you know definitely leaning in a different direction. So whenever I was bringing clientele in with my skills, you know, it started introducing conversations with people that they normally wouldn't have. You know, introducing African Americans to people. You know, we have Black Lives Matter um, uh, parade or demonstration come through our town, and you know, I'm cutting guys asleep. And they're coming in there and they're meeting the people that's opposing. Right. But these guys, and it happened. You know, and these conversations happen, and they had constructive conversations, and I feel like that was needed. And having a safe haven, like I feel like a barbershop is better than even a town hall. You know?
Well, that's what you're doing. Those great conversations, those intricate people behind the cost, boundaries, people just intersecting on different levels, meeting a client who is not yours, who's on use of information because they have the same interests as you. So you can miss out on a lot of things, but it's hey, you gotta give and take.
Yeah, and the benefits of just having a personal relationship with somebody, cutting in a chair, they feel like that's their own club. Like they come here, and I definitely see the benefits. I just have to try,
right,
to see what the best part of it is.
You know what I realized, man, is that a lot of barbers that like started off with the suite first, they eventually go to the shops. You know,
they come back
to shops, and they go back. But the one that's opened up the shop first, they go to the suite. Well, that's what I've watched over the years of watching all the barbers that I look up to. Mm-hmm. That's just how it was. And I just feel like they kind of burnt out with having everybody in the shop. Yeah. These people are like burnt out with being in the shop alone.
I mean, it do. Like I said, there's pros and cons of both. You know what I mean? You grow so much, you know, the barbers around you. You know what I mean? Because it ain't nothing worse than if you're in the shop by yourself and you put the dye and you put the throat, or you lose the guard and you can't find a guard.
That's I didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah.
And he got them new hitters. You're like, yo, let me see it.
Or Barber buys some new equipment, some tools, and you're like, yo, check this out. Mm-hmm. Those are the pros. You know, you don't get that. You just wait till you get to the next hair show or get on YouTube or wait till you buy the tools yourself. But in the shop, somebody will say, you don't have to buy them, and oh man, they ain't no good, so I ain't buying those. You know what I mean? I have to waste my time. You know what I'm saying? Bob's will do
I've done that.
You.
Yeah, be like, yeah, you don't like it. They threw them in the drawer. You don't like
the main one.
Yeah.
I used to buy every tool that came out.
Yeah, everything
that came out. Then I woke up.
You know what I mean? You don't want to be in that position. So, I mean, it is beneficial. I mean, I love my time in the shop. I love my time in the shop, and why I say now that people come to you more for the relationship that you've built. So I did a little test in the past 30 days. I've been telling a lot of my clients, because I still have about like 40 clients.
Mm-hmm.
I trimmed down from like, when I went to school to like 70. Then I trimmed down to 40. And how I trimmed down was raising their prices. And every time I raised my prices, people would still come. So I did this other thing. I was like, you know what? December 31st, I'm retired. I'm not cutting hair no more. And I'm expecting my clients to be like, hey, man, okay. Can you point me in the direction to someone?
Uh-huh.
They're like, well, now what they telling me now, Craig, hey, you don't have to cut no more, but you can cut me. I'm like, nah, December 31st, you got like 6 weeks now. It's like, what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from
Why
now?
don't you just hit him with the $100 a haircut?
I mean, my price is raised up, and,
and
they still coming.
What do you charge? Can I ask what you charge for a haircut, Craig?
I mean, I'll put it to you this way. I did a mustache, and it was $25.
A mustache. Just a mustache.
Yeah, I mean, I turn my clippers on. I'm like, hey, 25. I mean,
hey, I told you I retired. Keep bringing me out of retirement. It's gonna charge you.
And so I came to find out there's more than just the haircut. There's more so of the conversation.
They want to come see Craig.
Yeah, the conversation about who I am and just reciprocating. Because I also get more from my clients than they get from me too. I don't think it's just one-sided. I get plenty from my clients. They fill me up too. So, but it's to the point where like, the schools are taking away so much time, and I keep telling them, man, I can't do it. And I put this guy off for like 2 weeks one time, and he still waited. I'm like,
Look, Craig, my mustache is getting thick, man.
I'm like, and I put him off, and I'm like, and I was.
One thing I know, he must not have been a bald dude. A bald dude would have been done. Yo, I gotta go somewhere else.
I don't know, man. I done seen the bald thing. Michael Taylor changed my whole perspective on the bald thing.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, but this. So I know it's the relationship where you build with people over time. They're gonna come for you. So, I have to say this. I could see how I would just build my clientele and be less stressful if I was in the studio.
At this point in your career, you feel like
by far.
Yeah, I'll probably be there one day.
But I mean, I'm not competing to be a barber no more. My days are done, and like every student who has been through the school, they're 10 times better than me, even where they are right now. Because where they are right now, and they're learning, even if you're like 2 weeks in, a month in, when they started, and my first month in, they're leaps and leaps ahead of me.
Me too.
Leaps ahead of me. And any student that came through because we had some boss barbers, even from all the students from the first class, like them dudes are like, offset takeoff, they took off.
That's like when I went to Johnson City when I first did the fades and flows there.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't feel like I had my license, but I didn't feel like I was anywhere above any of the students there because they were all so good. And I guess it's where they just grew up in an environment was conducive to them learning.
Right.
And they were just, I felt like they were equals even though, I had gotten my license, I didn't feel like I was any better than any of them. And it definitely showed.
Speaking of the barber, all the first barbers, like all those first barbers that graduated that I was introduced when you first opened the school, crazy, yeah, they all doing big things.
Mm-hmm. Next level.
They all shoot. They be talking about I'm the GOAT. Shoot, I be looking at them like, boy, you done caught up to me.
Yeah.
Boy.
I mean,
you don't see that?
Because the hair industry is so much love, and when you make it into artwork, you really become good. And when you invest yourself into it, make it like your profession, make it you're passionate about it. You make it into like you're joyous about cutting some hair, and you could tell that. You could tell some barbers who just cutting. They used to be cutting hair, assembly line.
Yeah.
And at this point, you cutting. We all cutting for some money, for income, but there's some barbers who just really cutting just for income and nothing else. And you're almost cheating the industry when you do that, because you're just passing people through your chair, and I didn't want to get to that point. So that's one of the reasons I was like, you know what? I got to open a school, do something, because I don't want to get to the point where it's just like assembly line.
And that's what we talked about.
Yeah.
Where I was like, because I feel like you do get to a certain point to where, I don't know if you just get burnt out or whatever, but I never want to feel like this is enough for me. Like I want to keep going next. So I always want to do, I don't ever care to go back to do any of them, but right. I'm always looking for the next opportunity.
Well, and like you said too, doing the podcast, being part of the Confess Project, teaching. And
being an instructor.
And that helps. And that's a conversation me and Thomas had the other day. I'm like, yo, you add this layer to yourself, it's going to make it fun again. Because you're just in one sector, you like, just going to cut. So now you're an instructor, you're doing a podcast, doing something different that adds layers to you to make it fun again, where you're giving back, but you're still in the game. Yeah.
You see, that's one thing that affected me throughout my career is like getting just constantly actually being a robot just every day. You constantly doing the same stuff. You ain't never doing nothing different. And that'll like really burn you out, especially if you're dealing with mental health.
Right.
Like that'll really burn you out and have you wanted to like, and I've thought about numerous times just putting them clippers down.
Right.
And and it was just like, nah, I can't do that.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't because I just love cutting hair.
And that's the point for me too. When I say I'm going to retire, I mean, I still love the art of just going in and just doing the fade. You know what I mean? And just trying out some new clippers, some new Ferraris, and just because I seen the walls are coming out with the a different pair of cordless.
Yeah, I just got them. You can play with them. I'll bring them Tuesday.
Those two right here.
Them legends.
Yeah. Yeah, how you know? You know what I'm saying?
I got them.
The legends are dope. For real.
Yeah, I got.
Man, so the legends is one of my favorite clippers.
See, I haven't got the charm because I didn't zero gap them, so I took them to work, but I never had time to zero gap them, so I haven't used them yet. But I'm gonna use them Tuesday.
The dude said the legends. This guy right here.
That's what they are. That's what they are. The legends.
When they come out?
They came out. I don't even.
Because I seen them. I'm like, I had them corded. I'm like, man.
I told my wife, I was like, yo, that's it right there. Let me she didn't even get to wrap it. I walked outside, there's a box that said lithium battery. I said, oh, that's me.
That's dirt. Yeah, so just switching it up like that, doing different things kind of help you with the art of barbering, making it more passionate for you. Because I can understand that when you say just being like a robot. You get that because people expect you to be God. They expect you to just be at the beck and call every day.
24 hours a day.
And sometimes you just want to break it down and say, yo, I'm not available today. I'm doing something else with barbering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they have to respect that because you still honing your craft. You're getting better every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And getting better every day not necessarily mean just being behind a chair.
That's one thing I notice is when barbers try to branch off from something that isn't barbering, it seems like there's resentment there. I don't know why, but I feel like I've seen that. And it's hard for a person to just retire from barbering because people get so used to you cutting their hair that it's almost like they refuse to let you retire. They don't want you to retire. They want you to, and like you said, it's the experience being around somebody too.
I mean, when I say retired, I'm still in the industry. I'm still loving the students, going to work every day and giving tips on how to cut, how to do certain things. So I'm still getting my fill. So if I decide like, hey, yeah, I'll cut some hair. I'll cut ahead. You know what I mean? But I don't want to be obligated to be like, Craig.
You know what I mean? Put me in for Tuesday.
Yeah, nah. That's why
Wake up 9 a.m. Man, I gotta be in that chair by 10.
Yeah, that's why I don't have a booking app. I thought about having a booking app just for me, but it'd be a waste of time because people would fill it up, and I don't want that. And I can't say I'll be here at 10 o'clock because sometimes 10 I have to do something else.
That's the freedom of it, right?
Yeah.
That's the when you can make your own schedule. When you be somewhere because you want to be somewhere.
Right.
Man, if it was possible, man, I'd cut hair all day, but the services would be like it'll be big gaps in between each cut. You know what I'm saying? Just
about an hour and a half.
Yeah, just so I could get what I need to get done.
Get your mind right.
My life, you know, like far as because I got a lot of kids, so you know, I got to make sure they straight and everything. You know what I'm saying?
But the importance of what you just talked about too, mental health. Mental health is so important when you're dealing with barbering. Mental health is so important when it deals with everything and anything. So it's important for all barbers out there to take their time and think about, hey, if you just make this into assembly line, this could affect your mental health and affect you long term.
And that's another thing. Like, and I want to like, I hope that all students listen to this. Like, it's okay to just go straight into a shop and cut head after head after head, but you got to think about your future. Because if you're constantly doing that, that's what people are going to expect from you constantly and constantly. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is to build your name, your brand, and everything while you're in school. You know, don't goof around, man. Take that stuff serious. Listen, take everything that they teaching you in there.
But it's hard right now at times because you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because some students go into and the whole thought process is, man, I have to get good today. I have to get good in 2 weeks. And I try to tell them, hey, it's not realistic.
Yeah, that's not happening.
The first month, hey, Craig, man, I don't think my haircut's as good as Thomas, man. I'm like, you've been there 6 weeks.
That's when I first started.
They know Thomas been playing with these clippers since he was 9 years old.
Yeah, 20 years in the game. It's 20 years a month. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to Thomas. You know what I mean?
When I started my apprenticeship, I'm like, I'm about to watch all this YouTube, and I'm going to come in and be the dopest barber. It's a rude awakening.
It's time. Yeah. Because you got to watch the YouTube to know what to do over time.
They make it look so easy, though.
Yeah.
Like when I first started school, like when I was cutting hair on the streets, like I used to shake. I mean, it used to be hard trying to get my hands together to where I can do straight hairlines. And then like when I started school, it was just like when I first started school, I was nervous. I mean, I was extra nervous because, you know, you in the opening, now everybody watching you cut. And I ain't never had that. And I was just nervous. It was crazy.
Where'd you go to school at?
Knoxville Institute of Hair Design.
Is that Bianca's?
No, Bianca's
They
Master Academy.
Oh, okay.
yeah, they tore that. They pretty much
Yeah,
closed
started
that
over.
school down. And yeah, and that like that's another thing when I say like you being in good environments, because I'm gonna tell you this, that school, man, it was ruthless.
What was
It
wrong?
was ruthless. It was
Is
you
it-
could basically call it a trap house barber college.
Oh, really?
Man, it was everything going down in there.
Mm.
Everything.
And that's one of the negatives of being around other
Yeah,
barbers.
that's what makes you be like, you know, when a teacher's telling you something and you just like, man, I ain't about to be doing that in the shop. I'm just be cutting hair.
Yeah.
I'm just cutting hair. All that stuff that we sat there and said, I ain't gonna be doing that. It's all popular now. And now we just like, oh, we just played ourselves
Yeah,
on making more money.
Yeah.
you didn't know what you don't know.
Yeah. And we was just in there just goofing around, not doing nothing. You know?
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. But at the same time, I still was able to get my hands together where I don't even shake no more.
Yeah.
Well, you took it as an art. That's where your passion comes in, and that's where some students their passion comes in. Where you know what, nothing's gonna stop them because they're looking at it as an art. This is gonna be my career. I have to be passionate about something. I want to be really good at this, and that's in almost any craft, any genre out there. Like for LeBron, he had to sit down and be like, you know what, I got to practice. I got to be good. I got to take this serious. You can go to any form of anything starting, any career starting, and you'll see some people just laser focus, take it serious, and some people like, man, I'm just here for the ride.
Yeah.
And then their skills is not developing, then they get insecure and make it uncomfortable for everybody else.
Now they the bitter barber in the shop.
Yeah,
Oh man, he ain't that good, bro. Don't even rock with that dude, man.
which is crazy.
Yeah, you get a different client. Well, you end up taking one of their clients because he ain't putting all the effort that he used to put in. Now he come in the shop. Now it look like they got beef with each other, and you like, yo, that's on you, bro.
Yeah.
Because the industry is so much love. I mean, the industry is so much love. I think. I mean, just the artwork of seeing the different styles, the different haircuts, and how it has evolved, and how it's so fresh and so clean. You like that just keeps me motivated to want to keep teaching.
I think teaching keeps me reminded where I started. The like first like you last like you first and make that your everything.
Yes.
Because I get to watch them from day one, the nervousness of wanting to touch somebody's head and run the clippers and or how or going around the ears with the trimmers and how they just so new to it and then how they're dealing with that, and it reminds me of where I came from, and that's what helps me stay humble is seeing them start from day one, and then they go from that to they're competing in competitions at Knoxville Barbershop, and I couldn't even imagine doing that because I never did that.
Bossing it out. Yep.
Man.
Give a shout out to our sponsors, Colossal Brand. Check them out this Christmas holidays. If you have anything that you want to buy, a gift for a friend, a foe, your kids, check out colossalbrand.org. Hit them up. They'll get you right. We got how many days till Christmas? Today's the 13th. We have 12 days to Christmas. Hey, get your shopping right. And again, shout out to Feed Spot, who ranked us top 25 in the world. Barber College Success now in over 77 countries. Check us out. If you have any questions, keep the questions coming. We love when you guys send us questions so we can answer on the show. We still working on that booking app. We're gonna get that to you. The guy who sent the question on YouTube asked us to rate the booking apps. We're gonna get that to you. We're working on it. We want to take our time and make a bang and bring that out there and make it really what you need, what you want. There's several of them out there. There's Squire, there's Booksy, there's Square,
The cut.
the cut.
I'm a firm believer in the cut. Like that's
Hold on, that's content for the next episode.
Gotcha.
That's the next one.
We can bring Tommy on for that one. We got another expert.
Yeah, that's the next one. That's the next one.
Know.
Yeah, we going because
I promote them all day.
Yeah, YouTube is hitting us up asking us, hey, rate some booking apps. It's like, we got y'all. We're gonna do it. We're gonna see what's up. Drop a little gem. Why you like the cut? Just one gem and that's it. Because leave them wanting more.
Man, it's so much.
Just leave.
Okay, for instance, they do your taxes for you. Just put it like that.
So,
hey.
leave it out. Leave
He's
it
ready
out.
to go in.
Yeah, leave it out there.
I'm ready to go
Leave it
all
out
the
there.
way in.
Leave it out there. You gotta leave it wanting more. So that's one thing we gotta when we doing it, book all the apps
Mhm.
and say break it down. Yeah, that's gonna be epic. I can't wait for that one.
And then we get somebody
Oh,
so
man.
Square.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
Squire,
Yeah.
Square,
I've
Cut.
had what's that
Booksy.
Bookski? No. Was it Bookski? I think it was. What was that one that I had? I had another app, but they was charging me like $30 a month for
Uh-huh.
it.
And the
It
cut is
was
free.
not a cut like $20.
Oh, that's not bad.
$20, but it's like you can communicate with.
Hold on.
All right.
He's right. Man loves a cut.
Yeah, we want to let them. We want to let them come and tune into this episode. This is gonna be big. We'll probably try and do that in the new year. And talking about mental health, Thomas, you know we do the thing with mental health, the Confess Project.
Yeah.
So that's something you probably want to get with us on. You know what I mean? Because just telling your story is important because it can relate to other barbers. Hey, it's okay to not be okay, and there's people out there just like you. That's the importance of that. And that's why we go into the headquarters with Gillette to talk more about mental health and just try to kill that stigma and just to validate people's feeling with active listening and positive communication. I think that's important because people really, really push mental health under the rug.
Yeah.
And that's serious. That's serious. I don't think you can do anything without proper mental health.
It can cost you your career too.
Oh,
honestly,
by far.
like that, because it'll have people like, for instance, like how I deal with it, right? Like over the years, like I've been dealing with mental health for years, and it's like when I'm in the shop, like I give off a bad energy to certain people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it ends up turning into something it shouldn't even be turned in. Just a bad misunderstanding. So
Right.
you know, you gotta be able to, you know,
help it out.
control
Work.
that.
Yeah. That's important. That's valuable. Yeah, we're gonna do we're going to Nashville here in a couple weeks. I think the 27th to do a seminar on mental health, and then we're gonna come back probably do something in Johnson City the first of the year for all the barbers on mental health again. So it's gonna be important. It's valuable, and I think it's. I mean, I didn't understand what mental health was until I became part of the Confess Project. And one day I was just so overwhelmed myself. And I just said, you know what? I'm not going to work today. I'm just staying home, not doing nothing. I get myself in check. So it's important. And everybody suffers from some form, even if you don't think it, everybody has some form of mental health that didn't get in check. And it's okay to not be okay. Yeah.
Amen.
Not to jump off our topic, but I thought that was important.
No, you're right.
Yeah. So our topic today was
the benefits of working in the studio, pros and cons of working in the studio or working in the shop.
And what did we get out of it today? What did you think?
I think that I think you just try it out, see what you like, and then go from there. And you don't know what you don't know, so until you actually experience one or the other, then you can't.
I don't recommend you just leaving school and going to a studio.
Yeah, don't recommend that at all.
No, I don't recommend that at all because you're gonna lose. I'm not gonna say you're gonna lose. You can win, but it's gonna be an uphill climb.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go straight to a shop. You know, build your clientele up. You ain't like when I say the appointments. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like, go ahead, build your clientele up. When you get a good set of clientele, then go to appointments.
Right.
You know, and that'll nip all that in the butt right there. You know, then you as you grow in the shop, you know, if you love the shop, stay in the shop. But if you feel like, you know what, like I ain't feeling this shop, I can't vibe with this shop or that shop, then go do a sweep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important to think of it and weigh your cons and weigh your pros. Because again, I think you take your time before you make a decision like that.
And it ain't gonna be easy either. So don't get discouraged, man. Keep fighting.
Well, I think most barbers think that they just have to come out of school and start making all this ton of money.
Nah.
That's the Instagram, YouTube looking at
when
what
I
they
first
got.
came in, Craig told me, "Hey, early bird gets the worm." Man, I used to live in Greenville. I used to drive all the way. I used to get up at like 7 o'clock and drive all the way to Johnson City. Get here by 10 o'clock. And Craig is, man, hey, get in here early. Get in here early. Craig done had like 10 people already.
Yeah.
And it's like you were saying, like I see Craig over there just next. Me just starting, I'm over here sweating bullets. Like, dang, I gotta catch up. I look bad over here.
The dude keep moving because his butt hurts.
Yeah, everybody, wait, you next? No, I'm gonna go with him. It's like, God,
I'll never forget them days.
I don't know what it is, man. I think I came up with a formula first off, so I know strategically how I'm going to approach this haircut from beginning to the end, and I can see the end of the haircut. So when I'm like starting the haircut, I already know, okay, I have like 10 more minutes left. So I had this formula down packed where I was able to just cut them up and just cut them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I remember I did one thing in the barber shop one day. This guy came in towards the end of the day. I mean, matter of fact, at school, and it was me and Ryan. And Ryan was like, "Craig, how fast can you get this guy in?" I'm like, "Okay, you just want a typical fade." I knocked dude out in like 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
But yeah, and Ryan was like, "Damn!" I was like, "Yeah," knocked him out.
I don't think I could do no. I couldn't even put a guideline in
Well,
6 minutes.
You can. You can.
Hey, you and Bobby was the most notorious ones about that, man. I think it was like Bobby. He did a haircut in like 3. Man, that he got that head up out of there. He got that head up out of there, and we just like, cause I think he bet somebody. He was like, I bet y'all I got this client. He just want a quick cut. I bet y'all get him out of here in 2-3 minutes. I'm like, no, you can't. Yeah, right. Man, you got that man up out of there.
I mean, the key is having your tools on point, like those new legends.
I ain't even tried them yet. I'll let you try them. I ain't tried them yet.
Having some dope trimmers, some liners, and you good. I mean, I don't recommend that. I recommend that everybody should at least get 30, 35 minutes in your chair, maximum about an hour, 35 to an hour in your chair.
They're paying for the time.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the experience.
Yeah. That's like with my cut. Everybody be like, yo, Tommy cut so good, man. I take my time on my cuts. That's all you got to do. Take your time. Stop trying to rush it.
Yep.
When you rush your cuts, that's when you get them sloppy, ugly cuts, and people call you the horrible barber.
Yep.
And take your time. Just because somebody cut faster, they got a technique that they use.
Pace yourself and don't try to keep up with no one else. So again, Barber College Success. We talked today about the epicenter of haircutting around going to a studio by yourself or working in the shop with others. We clearly see that there's several benefits to both. And we clearly see that there's some cons to both. But overall, it's just what works for you.
Yeah.
And what works for someone else might not work for you. And what works for you might not work for someone else. So find out what works for you. Ask questions. Visit barbershops. Do your research. Don't jump into it by yourself because believe it or not, there's someone who's done it before you.
Yeah.
There's someone who's done it before you. All these haircuts we've seen as being bossed out, looking real good, there's someone out there who's done those haircuts before you. Everybody who's in the studio, everybody who's in the shop, ask questions. There's someone out there who's done it before you. So you don't have to do all the legwork by yourself. Make it easy on yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't put no pressure on yourself. Because I distinctly remember times in the shop where I couldn't do a particular, get this particular result I wanted. And I looked over and I see Thomas doing it like this. I'm like, okay. And I tried it and it worked. So for this instance, that's the pros of being in the shop with other barbers. You have some boss barbers around you who you'll see doing a technique that you've been trying to figure out forever. And you go over there, you watch them, you ask them, and they'll instant feedback. Now, being in that studio by yourself,
you better get the YouTubing.
But then again, if you watch all the YouTubes you watch, the YouTube, they shrink a whole hour into 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't get that shop experience right there, man.
And you don't get the instant feedback. You can't.
Somebody actually walking up to you and being like, yo, hey, no, just turn it like this. Do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
How to use your straight razor, how to do certain things. Because one of the key things a lot of students have problems with how to use their straight razors on the curves on the top.
We did that the other day.
Yeah.
They did it to me. I'm like, yo, Let's do it. Dry shave. I said all of them. We dry shave. Don't even put nothing on it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pros and cons, and again, ask yourself, and don't feel too bad to ask questions. Don't feel afraid to ask questions.
Yeah. And one thing about that dry shave, you got to be careful. If your hands ain't slick, bro, you're gonna be cutting and chopping.
Mhm.
You gotta quit. I gotta learn to stop doing that myself.
What's that?
Dry shaving,
You don't like dry shaving?
man. Like when I do the little lineup and stuff,
Yeah.
dry shave, sometimes it agitates me because I end up you'll feel like you put the razor on there clean and everything. You turn the client around and you
Yeah,
start doing the other side. You come back around now. You got a blood running. You like what the heck? You know what I'm saying? You like I thought I did that smooth.
You see, and that shows as a barber being transparent. You learn all the time.
Yeah.
You can be 20 years and you can learn something. You can learn something from someone else.
Mhm.
And that's again, don't compare yourself coming out of school in school to someone 5, 10 years in. You put pressure on yourself. And the key to a straight raise of not cutting people, just keep the razor as flat as possible. If the razor is flat, 9.5 out of 10 times, you're not gonna cut somebody. You're not gonna leave a nick.
The students did a good job. They didn't cut me at all.
What's that middle and what's that the pointy finger?
The tang?
Whatever yeah. Not the pointy finger, but the ring finger. Middle finger and ring finger.
Well, for me, I use my middle finger and my thumb just to hold it real delicate. Because
Yeah.
I picture just like drawn.
You have to use your thumb, of course,
Yeah.
but these the ones that apply the pressure.
Mhm.
Your two middle fingers, those are the ones that apply the pressure, and those is like pretty much the softest fingers.
Mhm.
They teach you to use these two fingers in the middle to do your massage because you're putting a light touch on it.
Yep.
Besides your two
Yeah.
edge fingers, where you can, you can just
stab somebody.
you
Yeah.
can stab somebody with that finger.
Yeah, some people, especially have them. Some dudes have them fingers look like cherry at the end.
Oh yeah.
That was Boss. Remember Boss?
Yeah.
Boss had them fingers was like looked like a plum at the end. Yeah. Rest his soul. Boss was a good dude, man.
I'm gonna look into that grand piano thing, man. I think it might be cool.
I mean, it's just adding like aesthetics, just adding structures to your place, just adding like a conversational piece too. There's so many different ways because you could have something like a statue or something in there of somewhere, a statue picked up in Africa or something on one of your journeys, and you can talk about that statue and the journey the whole time during that haircut.
That's what you used to do with the
currency.
Currency, yeah.
What was it?
Currency. I had like currencies from around the world, like a ton,
Uh-huh.
and that would be like one of the best conversational piece in the shop. Everybody come in, their eyes would go straight to it.
What's that?
What's that? And then people would add to it. People would want to
Yeah.
put their currency on there, and then after a while, it just grew. I mean, I have like over like 500 different currencies.
Man, he had a food stamp on there.
But that's a conversational piece because some people have never seen that time.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, like it was crazy.
Wait, so he did for real?
Yeah,
Like,
it was a real food stamp up there.
Yeah, for
People
real.
was actually like, "What's that? What currency is that?" I was like, "Man, that's a food stamp.
Yeah.
That's a food stamp."
Yeah, because they give you a credit card now.
yeah, they got
Yep.
the car. Oh yeah, I guess they don't got it no more, do they?
Well, I used to love seeing them brown ones in my mom's bag. Yeah, I know she ain't gonna care about them. Let me get that. Get some bag of chips.
So, Thomas, this is your first time on the pod. What you think about the podcast?
Man, it's amazing. Yeah, I like it.
Initially, most people come in and, like I said, they get nervous. But after you start talking, it's just a flow.
It's just a talking thing.
Yeah.
I was never nervous.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was gonna be nervous, but it never kicked in.
You're just sitting in the studio having a vibe.
Just chilling.
Like my
Just
brother
chill.
was wanting to start a podcast with me, but he lived all the way in Vegas, and I was like, "Nah, I don't know about no podcast, but shoot, I might go take him back on that."
You got the internet now.
I mean, you do, because what we do, like when we have people like come in from out of state,
Mm-hmm.
like one day Emma was on vacation, and we just zoomed him in,
Oh,
and everybody in the studio, we just had like a regular podcast. So the people,
Yeah.
the listeners out there, they didn't know if Emma was in the studio or he's on the beach in the sand with his toes hanging out.
Yeah.
Like that. So
see, it's crazy because my brother, like when me and my wife used to go out there and stay, like we went out there recently, and like he had this little room. It was the guest room, and it was he had the whole little setup, like the little table with
Right.
the microphone, the computer, all that. And I was just like, bro, what you gonna do with this stuff? Right then I ain't know exactly what he's gonna do, but now that he started his new company, Upscale, I think they luxury it's a luxury car business. I think
Okay.
he chauffeur people around or
Mhm.
something, or he rent out cars. I can't remember exactly what he do, but him and his high school buddy, they started it, and he started doing commercials and stuff for it. And man, it's cool. I like it.
That's cool.
So as in everything, all good things must come to an end. We've been on it for an hour now. It don't seem like it. It seems like we've been on it for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Again, Barber College Success brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cutz Academy JC, Crown Cutz Academy Bristol, and Craig's Crown Cutz Downtown JC. With our special guest, Mr.
Tommy the Barber, aka Tommy Got You on IG. Only got it IG.
The Hands of
Hands of God.
Yes, sir. And
A
my
lot of people
co-host.
know me for.
Am I Fields? Am I your barber?
Yeah. So
Yes,
before we
sir.
close, what is your last words you want to say? Your last what you want the people to hear? Your last words before we get off this.
This industry could be whatever you want it to be. If you want solitary, you want to be solid. You want to be in solitude. You want to be peaceful and just cut your clients. You have that option. If you want to work in a shop, you can do that. But whatever you want to do is options for you, or you can create something different.
What's your last words, T?
Man, I just say be great at what you do, man. You know, listen to the more advanced people. Get out there. Don't be afraid to do anything.
Get advice. Work in
Yeah.
this industry. I think the barber industry, I think we need to work with each other more and just try to solidify what we have, because East Tennessee, again, we have some great barbers. We have some great people doing some great things, and it shouldn't be no reason why we shouldn't be proud of where we are and what we have here.
You need to close that gap.
Yeah.
All the barbers need to stick together.
Yeah, we gotta. They do. When we have a wonderful thing here, and hopefully we'll probably do something in the spring or in the summertime. Have a barber battle for the experienced barbers by the lake with the backdrop.
Oh,
$1,000 cash prize.
You coming out, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm coming for that.
That's all you got to say. They gonna come out the
Yeah,
woodworks.
I gotta come for that one.
Yeah, you got cordless clippers, because ain't no plugins out there.
Yeah.
So we looking for a location right now. One of these lakes out here with the backdrop. Have over the mountain barber battle. It's gonna be dope for experienced barbers. If you come out of school, you think you know what I'm saying, you're ready, just go to it. We're gonna try and make it an annual event. I think it's gonna be good for the area, just kind of bring more attention to the area, and hey, have one of our barbers, East Tennessee, win it. Hopefully get that $1,000 and move forward.
Have a chef out there, wine tasting.
You know what? We probably incorporate that, because my guy out there at in Bristol at Taste, he got some at the winery. He got some.
There you go. Do it at the vineyard.
Nah, we're gonna do that. I can see the vision. I can see the backdrop with the lake.
Yeah,
it's gonna be dope. We're gonna have and open up to barbers around Tennessee, but mostly help everybody, all the barbers in East Tennessee, participate. Yeah, have some big sponsors, and I'm gonna talk to Gillette about something too, about that, what they could do for us, and any other major sponsors that we have out there.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. Drop the beat.